My mum is the smartest woman I've ever known.
The election gets very personal.
She's brilliant. And that's what drives me.
Bill Shorten raw with emotion after a hatchet job in Sydney's Daily Telegraph newspaper, asserting the Labor leader had glossed over his late mother's short career as a barrister to talk up his own working-class roots.
I miss her every day, but I'm glad she wasn't here today to read that rubbish. Just rubbish.
His mother, Anne Shorten, wanted a legal career.
They didn't have the money to pay for her tuition to go to university, so she had to take a teacher scholarship.
But in the 1980s, with her twin boys at school, she started law, graduating at 51, topping her year.
What I did on Monday night is I explained who I am. I explained what drives me.
Mr Shorten has referenced his mother and his admiration for her throughout his political career, most recently on Monday's Q&A programme.
I went to this university. The reason why I went to this university is because my mum worked here for 33 years. My mum came from a working class family. She was the first in her family in the early 50s to ever go to university, ever. No one ever thought. My grandma, English grandma, she was a cleaner and a barmaid. They wouldn't have thought we'd ever be sitting here talking to you like this. But if my mum, she became a teacher, but she wanted to be a lawyer, but she was the eldest in the family, so needed to take the teacher scholarship to look after the rest of the kids. My mum was a brilliant woman. She wasn't bitter. She worked here for 35 years. But I also know that if she had had other opportunities, she could have done anything. Who do some people in News Corp, who do some of these lazy people think they are? That because they think that I explained myself at Q&A on a Monday night, that they play gotcha shit about your life story, more importantly my mum's.
This was a very upsetting story, and I can understand that Bill would have been very hurt by that story.
So I'd say to whoever thought they organised a political hit on me in the election to cast some doubt, I can hear my mum now saying, don't worry about that rubbish.
Bill Shorten today revealed more about himself and the man behind the politician than perhaps at any time during his 6 years as Labor leader. In doing so, it stands to become one of the defining moments of the election campaign, although it'll have no influence on the 1.4 million Australians who've already voted. The risk of spontaneous upset and offence only goes up from here.
Paul Keating is not an isolated figure in terms of the attitude.
Speaking of not being partisan.
Simon Birmingham's suggestion that the former Prime Minister might have signalled a pro-China bias by a future Labor government drew a response of utter contempt.
Please put your hands together.
And they are supposed to be friends. Andrew Probyn, ABC News, Canberra.